Hi, I'm Jan. I'm from BHGS in Evesham. Today we're going to show you how to make a holly wreath using fresh holly and liandi. You've got 3 different size rings, a 12-inch, a 10-inch and an 8-inch. Today I will be using a 10-inch. You start with all the equipment. You've got a reel wire, stub wires, you need a pair of cutters. These are all the embellishments. We've got a pull bow, a selection of oranges and pine cones, and all the artificial little picks. Right, as I said, I'm using a 10-inch ring. These are all my embellishments, my holly and my moss. First of all, you get your reel wire, you attach it to the ring just by twisting, pull it along, and you've got your wire attached ready to wire your moss and your holly. I like to keep my reel wire quite tight. You get your moss, just a handful, squeeze it together, tuck it in, that's your first piece, and you lie it on your wreath ring. You pull your wire and just wrap it round, just going right round each piece of moss. Always keep your wire quite taut and leave it on the actual ring. Take some more moss, pull it apart, it's quite messy. Squeeze it together and lie it just over the end bit of the first piece you've put on. And just continue wiring. Wiring round your next piece, squeeze it together, and if you find you think it's a little bit thin on the moss, you can always just add a little bit more onto there. Just continue wrapping it round. Just give it a gentle pull. This should be the last piece. Just roll it and squeeze it. Just keep twisting it round. Until you get to the end. So that's your moss. Don't cut the wire off because that will be attaching the moss. Right, I've attached all the moss. I'm just going to trim up some of the scraggly long bits. Cleared away a bit of the debris. So you've got your wire quite taut. Now to start building up the wreath. I take a couple of pieces of liandi, a plain piece of holly, and some variegated, making sure that you leave at least 2 inches of stem so you can attach it to the wire. If you find it's not long enough, just take a few of the leaves off. So now, where your wire, you lie it on. Just lie it on top of the moss and wrap the wire round 2 or 3 times, always keeping it quite tight. And that's your first piece. You continue round, building up. With the plain holly, the liandi, and a piece of variegated. And that piece you lie on the top of the first piece you put on. And you just continue wiring it round. Two or 3 times. And spreading it out a little bit as you go. And as you can see, it's just starting to build up a pretty little wreath. So just your liandi, your holly, it doesn't matter how much you put in. Obviously the more you put in, the more fuller the wreath will be. You lie the next piece just on top of that one, the second piece you put on. That is the completed wreath with all the holly and the liandi wired on. I haven't cut the wire off yet because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it tight, leave a good length, cut it, as I said, these are the embellishments that I will be using today. I've got 4 pine cones, 4 whole oranges and 4 pretty little picks. To wire the pine cone, you take a longer wire, I think that's a 19 by 12, you bend it, you just wrap it round the end of the pine cone, and it's as simple as that. And you've got your cone with your wire which you can pull through. I have already done those 4. The oranges, the whole oranges, you take a longer wire, you push it through. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult. You push it through, straight through, pull it down, and I pull mine down between the split and give it a little twist. But sometimes when you twist it they will crack, but obviously you could use a fresh one. So there we go, those are that. This is a simple pull bow. You can make your own, but these, when you're making a lot, are easy. You open the ends and you've got some long strips. You hold it between your finger and your thumb and you just gently pull it. Don't pull too tight, else you will split the end and you won't have a bow. Take the flat end of a scissors or a knife, just gently pull it along and it will curl it. Oops. Do it the other side. Obviously the tighter and harder you pull, the longer the tighter the bows will be, the twirly bits will be. You can either leave them like that or you can pull them through I generally cut them off because I find them a little bit long. So there you go. That's the bow attached. You can move it about, put it in position how you want. But that's the bow, and you've always got your hanger to hang it on the door. I position my picks where I'd like them to go. I've got 4, so I just lie them on just to see where I've got them in right position. And then I've got the orange and the cone, which will go in between. Just take your pick, you push it through the moss and the holly, pull it tight, and you just bend it and tuck it in to the back of the moss, like so. That's the one. I put one the opposite side of the bow, exactly the same, pushing it through, bending and pushing it through. So there's my 2. The next one, I'm going to twist it round. I've got the bow, so I'd like that one to go there. Just pushing it through the moss, turn it over, pull it tight and push it through. You can leave just 3 if you want, but I like my wreath quite pretty. And that's the 4th. Just positioning exactly the same and just push it through the moss. Just secures it. You can just pull it round and twist it. And those are your embellishments. With the holly, with the oranges and the pine cones, I join them together. You can give them a little twist. You do exactly the same. And I'm going in between my little picks. So you just push them through. You can do them separate if you find it more difficult. You just push it through, wind it round, and sometimes it just get a bit stuck. Just bend it round. And exactly the same with your pine cone. You push it through, bring the wire up and just push it through. As you can see, I've put in the pine cones and the oranges in between all the little pretty little picks, and that is the completed wreath.